How double Olympic gold medalist Shim Suk-hee lost the race to overturn her ban ahead of Beijing 2022. South Korean speed skater Shim Suk-hee is set to miss the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. So South Korea CNN. At the 2014 and 2018 Winter Olympics, South Korean speed skater Shim Suk-hee stepped onto the podium with her teammates for golden medals, the crowning moment of her sporting career. Fast forward to 2022, and things have drastically changed for Sim ahead of next month's Winter Olympics in Beijing. The short track speed skater was barred from training in October last year after a series of text messages she sent were leaked, causing controversy in her native country. After 2 months of investigations, the South Korea Skating Union, called the KSU Commit, announced December 21 it was suspending Sim from the national team for 2 months, saying she had marred the dignity of athletics. The suspension meant the two-time Olympic gold medalist would not be able to compete in the Beijing Winter Olympics, which are set to begin on February 4th. To overturn the suspension, Sim had the option of appealing to the Korean Sport and Olympic Committee, called the KSOC Sport Fair Play Committee, or taking the case to court. South Korea's gold medalist Shim Suk-hee, Choi Min-jung, Kim Ye-jin, Kim Ah-lang, and Lee Yu-bin posed on the podium during the medal ceremony for the short track women's 3,000-meter relay at the Pyeongchang 2018 Winter Olympic Games. It all began in October 2021 when Sim's next text messages with the former national women's skating coach were leaked. In the messages, Shim mocked her teammate and discussed making a Bradbury, raising suspicions of racing fixing. At the 2002 Winter Olympics, Australian speed skater Stephen Bradbury, an underdog in the 1,000 meters short track final, was in last place until the final lap, when his fellow racers crashed together and he sailed across the finish line, taking the gold medal. In December, KSU's investigation committee also looked into a collision between Shim and her teammate Choi Min-jung during the 1,000-meter final in Pyeongchang 4 years ago, and concluded that Shim had intentionally used her right arm to push Choi's left arm during the race. The committee, however, did not officially conclude the charge of racing fixing, as there was no evidence to prove Sim's intentions. The KSU's Fair Play Committee, which administers discipline, later suspended Shim for 2 months for mauling the dignity of athletics, as he admitted to disparaging her teammate in the series of text messages. Duty of keeping dignity and illegal leaking of text. As part of her appeal to compete in Beijing, Shim filed an injunction to lift the 2 month ban in January, but the Seoul Eastern District Court dismissed the request on January 18. The court ruled that she had violated the national athlete's duty to maintain dignity with her text messages, since the exchanges were sent during the Winter Olympics when Shim represented South Korea, a KSU official said in a statement. Sim's legal representative, who is unauthorized to speak on the record, told CNN that they had argued in court whether it was fair to include the content of personnel text messages in the duty of the national athletes to maintain dignity. Sim celebrates her bronze medal for the short track women's 1,000 meter at the Sochi 2014 Winter Olympics. Her side also claimed the text message was illegally leaked to the media by former coach Cho Jae-bum, who had been found guilty and sentenced to the 13-year prison term for the rape and sexual assault of Shim. Shim's representative said they told the quote that the personal messages being leaked allegedly by Cho amounted to the secondary victimization of Shim. The KSU countered that the strict rule of evidence does not apply to civil proceedings and that the 2 month suspension is the result of the union's investigation. Shim had already publicly admitted to the apologize for mocking her teammate. The text messages were exchanged with the assumption that they would not be made public, but then were leaked by other Cho's criminal act, Shim's representative said. Excessive punishment, legal representative says. Shim's representative also claimed the 2 month suspension was excessive as she had already been dropped from the national team in October and could not compete in the International Skating Union World Cup in November. They said the KSU did not reflect the penalty from October when discussing a separate 2 month suspension in December. However, the KSU denied that it had issued a double punishment, claiming that separating Shim from the rest of the team was not a disciplinary measure. In October, a KSU official told CNN that they separated Shim from the squad as it could be difficult for Shim and the national team to stay and train together, as her leaked text messages would affect team dynamics, and citing the needs for the investigation. Shim leading a pack during the ladies' short track 1,000-meter heat at Pyongyang 2018. Despite finishing first at the National Olympic Trials in May, Shim can no longer dream of competing in Beijing, which would have been her third Winter Games. Her legal representative told CNN that there are no plans to appeal as the court procedure takes time, and any decision would be unlikely to come before the Olympics begin in a few weeks, and the 2 month suspension ends on February 20. Without Shim, South Korea still managed to secure 5 spots for women's short track speed skating in Beijing. The KSU submitted its Olympic entrant Choi Min-jung, Lee Yu-bin, Kim Ah-lang, So Wi-min, and Park Ji-yoon to the South Korean Sports and Olympic Committee on January 24th.